Do you think the crypto gaming bull run might be close? Because if you do, like a lot of the big brain influencers are pushing at the moment, I feel the rumblings in the air myself, and if you agree and think that it's coming, I'm going to show you 4 crypto tokens that are about to launch that historically, the tokens that have launched like this in the past at the eve of a crypto gaming bull run have skyrocketed into the billions of dollars of market cap. And let's jump into my computer because I'll show you exactly how crazy stuff gets in the right market. That's the big asterisk here. We might be in the right market right now. This is Seedify. Now, we are lucky enough to be sponsored by Seedify on this channel, so thanks to Seedify. And these are the upcoming launches. 4 of these tokens we're going to go through today are the upcoming launches on Seedify, but I want you to go through the historic launches with me here. Blocktopia is the poster child for just such an insane launch. At the all-time high, it did a 700x return. CryptoMeta, almost a 200x return. CryoWar, 170x return. Sidus, 100x return. 71x. ChainGPT, quite a recent one there, 70x return. SpinTop, Good Games Guild, 60. These things are absolutely insane returns. And if you notice something, a lot of them were launched before and during the crypto gaming bull run of 2021. And in fact, if you average out these launches, you can see they have had an average ROI of 3.1x. That means right now the prices of all the tokens that are currently out there, based on what you could get in for, is at a 3.1x. And at their all-time high, it was a 30.2x. I'm going to talk a little bit more about these numbers at the end, but I wanted to just give you a little bit of a hint of what is possible for these 4 tokens we're about to go through. Because these 4 tokens are either currently raising money on Seedify right now or are raising money this week, and you can get in before they are public. The first token on this list you probably have heard of. It's a very interesting project you can see here on Twitter. It's called Gaimin. It's been incubated by CoinMarketCap, and you can see they are advertising an AI and DePIN as well as gaming narrative. Their bio says they're the world's biggest source of decentralized GPUs, powering AI tech fueled by 350,000 gamers. And they're a top 5 esports org, which is a little bit of a side project that they got going. They have 337,000 followers, which is a very solid following. Excellent branding, excellent tweets. But what do they actually do? Well, this blurry PDF explains it as simply as needed. They say there's 3 problems. There's no on-chain infrastructure that is good enough for real gaming. There's no way to monetize existing computing power when computers are idle. And the new computing hardware is in shortage, which if you don't understand the DePIN model, it's basically decentralized physical infrastructure that is going to power things like graphics rendering, video rendering, image rendering, even text rendering. With all the AI advancements, and especially with the advancements in games, they need actual computers to process all of these graphics. And gaming is very interesting because if you can see this next blurry slide that they put out here, they say that they are sourcing the GPU power from gaming computers, like people who have a gaming computer sitting at home, and they're obviously way more high powered than your normal computer. They are incentivizing gamers to actually host other people's games and render their graphics inside their games by paying them in the Gaimin token. The second token on this list is called Bloodloop, and I've been waiting for this one a while. We have a good exposure to Bloodloop, so our fingers are crossed with this one. It is a hero shooter game. They have the nice gold tick over here on Twitter, and they're a 5v5 tactical hero shooter game integrated with blockchain. A nice simple direct description here on Twitter, and they do have incubated by Seedify here. Of course, that's why we're going through them today. They to me look like a Valorant style game. They're a 5v5, and there is actually a free-for-all mode, energy war mode. There's also a big battle royale style mode coming up in this project. The team is from 7 Digital Labs, and this is what they look like. So if you want to come and look these men in the eye and see if you trust them enough to invest in their IGO, head on over to this team page here. And I'll overlay some of the videos of the actual gameplay on this video for you. This is a Web3 game with a lot of hype, a lot of big influencers involved. And this token, I personally believe, will hit a market cap in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Which takes us to the third token on this list. This Block Games is also being launched this week on Seedify. And you can see they have the nice yellow tick or the gold tick here on Twitter, which gives you a little bit of peace of mind that they're investing in the actual project, because I believe that's about $1,000 a month to have that. They describe themselves as a cross-chain, cross-game, decentralized player network powered by universal player profiles. Block, their token, which is launching soon on, of course, Seedify. Now, if you've gone ahead on the classwork, you may have noticed that they have 777,000 followers. Over 750,000 followers for this token. And if you didn't understand from their Twitter profile what they do, They are basically a gaming profile that will go across a lot of different Web3 games and keep your stats and keep your earnings and keep all your track record in one spot. I remember you used to play iPhone games and they were all independent iPhone games, and then all of a sudden this tracking thing came out where you could earn badges. It's sort of like your Steam profile when you play lots of different Steam games and you earn the badges and you earn the rewards and you earn the levels in the Steam profile. But this is essentially that for Web3. If you want to come into their tokenomics, you can just get that on their white paper there. They have 33% going into their ecosystem, 5% community pre-sale, 15% to the team, which is always good to see, 17% to investors, and 30% to community reward. And then finally, the fourth token on this list, Castle of Blackwater. They describe themselves as a 2D action-packed social deduction game with a magical twist. Now they are built on Beam, which is the meta right now in gaming, which is used to be Merit Circle. Merit Circle now own the Beam blockchain. And this is always a big tell. Coming down to their Twitter followers, it's always very useful to see because you can see how early you are into one of these projects. Now, fortunately, these tokens haven't launched yet, but if they had launched and they have 1 million followers, you're pretty late to the party because they haven't launched and they only have 21,600 followers. If this project blows up and this game becomes really big, there's a huge potential ROI in it. And this game also isn't that hard to understand. I'll put the video above as I talk about it, but it is a social deduction game where it pays to betray. They say there's 15 strangers are trapped in a castle of danger and deception. With a mission to complete tasks and escape with their lives, some will work together forming bonds and strong alliances. Others will pretend and deceive. With their own interests at heart in the everlasting battle between good and evil, only one side will survive to claim the castle's victory. When lives are at stake and the truth has no meaning, who will you trust? It's a good looking crypto game that is not quite on the scale of something like Bloodloop and other AAA style games coming up. But often, if we go back to the actual top launches on Seedify, we'll go back to this one over here, you'll see that things like Crypto Meta or Cryo War, which are at the moment way down and almost zero, you can see this one's at 0.06. These were the small games that had just small market caps when they launched that actually gave you the huge ROIs. And again, I'm a massive narrative trader, and I think maybe now going into a gaming bull run, if the gaming bull run is coming in the next 6 to 12 months, you probably want to get into these games before they launch and before the mainstream comes and buys them up at a really high price. Because the one thing that you have to understand with how Seedify works, if you buy their tokens and you stake them, you'll get an allocation and be able to invest in these upcoming launches, and you'll invest your money in that. But the money that is paid out, you cannot just cash out all at once. That's why they have an ROI versus a all-time high ROI. So ChainGPT has the highest current ROI, meaning if you sell your tokens now, you've got a 50x. But the way you get your tokens is normally monthly over about a year. So you'll get 8% of your tokens in the first month, 8% in the second month, 8% in the third month. So you can only really sell 8% when those tokens launch. So you want to invest in games that don't just go up and then crash down as you're still holding 92% of your tokens, but ones that are going to be good over long term. And again, this is why I'm making this video now. And this is why I'm saying to you, the narrative, if the crypto gaming bull run is coming, you want to be there months before it so that you can potentially sell your tokens or hold them if you believe in the game when the mainstream arrives and as that bull run is here. If you want to go deeper into these projects, if you want to get buy alerts on when influencers buy and sell new crypto games, you should join our inner circle. The link is in the description below. I'm also now on Twitter. Come across and give me a follow, and I'll see you in the next video.